So it's 2:03 a.m. on February 16th, and though I'm a bit tired, I've had a very, very full day of kind of managing my body temperature and room temperatures in various rooms that I was spending time in today to try to get a little bit of work done and have my cats be comfortable indoors, and chatting on the phone with at least four different people who are checking in, making sure we're all okay, and sharing stories because it feels good to tell people what your struggles are, how you're suffering temporarily, so you don't feel so alone. So yeah, that was good time spent on the phone. Um, but yeah, it's 2:03 and I'm tired, but you kind of get this feeling like, especially when you're the sole provider in your household, or you're the head of household, I guess. I'm the one that calling the shots, has to make all the right decisions. And even though I'm a tenant, I don't own this property, it's still kind of, I have agency to make sure that, pipes don't burst, or things don't spill over, or I don't accidentally leave something on, illuminated, plugged in, or whatnot. So yeah, you just kind of want to double check all of these things before going to sleep, and then double check again, and then maybe I'm not warm enough, so I should go dig around in some crate or box or suitcase for yet another pair of socks or another blanket, or maybe the cats aren't warm enough, so you double check everything. So right now I'm staying up to charge this computer. So I want to have it fully charged by the time I get to sleep, in case when I wake up, if the power's out, then at least I have a fully charged computer to work with through the day tomorrow. Um, Hundreds of thousands of people are still without power in the state of Texas because of decisions or postponements of decisions that happened, because maybe people didn't think they needed to take this so seriously. The polar vortex, um, kind of Arctic blast that we're inundated by right now at this moment. And so rolling blackouts weren't really happening, or maybe they were happening, but then also there were actual transformers blowing out, and just too much the heavy usage of the power grid. People were plugging everything in to try to keep warm and comfortable and have their um, electronics all charged. I mean, it was just a big burden on the system, and trying to maintain a consistent 70, 75, 68-degree room temperature in every room, in households ranging from little apartments to McMansions. I mean, we're forcing our electronic systems to keep us as warm today as on a normal February day. And yesterday was not a normal February day. I mean, we didn't even make the projected or predicted high, which was supposed to be 19. And I was all rah, rah, yay, for the first time ever for me to be excited that we might reach a high of 19 was unprecedented in my lifetime. And we didn't even make 19. We got to 14 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, we're putting all this pressure on our electronics and electrics and gas heaters, et cetera, to keep us as warm when it's 14 degrees outside as we'd like it to be when it's 35 degrees outside. So yeah, a lot of pressure on the grid. I myself am very conservative in my use of electricity and appliances and things like that, not to mention the fact that things can overheat, plugs and appliances. So I don't overuse or misuse the things that I do have for heating. So I kind of had a rolling blackout in my own place, where I'd have something on for a few hours, then I turn it off, and then have something else on in a different room, maybe a lamp or a set of lamps, just to kind of, you know, vary up the use of my appliances to keep the place lit and warm. Um, so yeah, I'm thinking a lot about how folks, not just in Texas, but maybe other parts of the U.S. too, where we expect to be comfortable, sweat-free, struggle-free year-round, and we don't consider that we should be doing extra work, like work meaning, well, it's winter. I should wear more clothes. It's winter time. It makes sense that I should layer up, as opposed to somebody who walks around in flip-flops and shorts and t-shirts year round, and never would wear a beanie, but always would wear a you know a baseball hat. I don't know. Are cowboy hats warm? I've never thought they were warm, but maybe they're warm for cowboys. But they don't cover much of your face at all, or the sides of your face. They barely cover your um, part of your temples and your forehead. So I don't know. Maybe they're warm. Depends on what they're made out of, I guess. But yeah, I think people who really know what the world is about, when nature meets out these things, we have to meet nature halfway. We have to pull out the socks, the woolen underwear, the beanies, and the balaclavas, the scarves, the extra things, the leggings, and layer up. It's something that you can kind of make a fun indulgence, like all the scarves you get for Christmas, put them all on, try them on, because this is the week to do so when the temperatures are so low. And no matter that your waistline gets drowned by all the layers, some guys actually find it sexy. Somebody told me that today on a phone call. It's like, hey, well, for me, I think it's kind of sexy when you see a woman in a hat, like a winter hat, and her hair's all sticking out, poking out from underneath in all kinds of wild directions. He's like, I think that's sexy, or it's hot. So it's just a matter of letting go of some of the standards that people have set for themselves about beauty and maybe even hygiene. If you don't have, I woke up today and didn't have hot water, no access to running hot water for some reason. I don't know why. I had cold water running, but and it's not a lot of fun to wash up with cold water, or so I had to heat up hot water. So I go all, Laura Ingalls Wilder rogue. I had to make accommodations today, boiling water so I could, wash my face, brush my teeth, stuff like that, or even wash hands, because my skin is getting really kind of torn up by the weather, by the temperature in the rooms here, but also cold water is really hard on the hands in the wintertime. um so yeah, I'm suspending some standards. All my dishes are piling up. I'll get to them in May, June, July. I'll have plenty of time, and there'll be so much hot water, and I'll be sweaty, and that's a whole other disastrous scenario. Thank you, nature. Thank you, climate change. That I'll contend with. So letting go of standards is okay. Like the fact that I have decided that for me, for this blast of the polar vortex, cold, air and temperature and precipitation, I'm gonna work out a system where I can create as much heat and warmth for myself in as small a place as possible within an apartment. So I decided I would use this back room closet, which is sizable, and I actually don't store much in this closet already. So it was kind of an empty space for me to inhabit. And I think about kids who love nothing more than playing fort and building, walls out of blankets and bed sheets and tying them, across the living room between you know, the sofa and the chairs and all of that. And so I've kind of been living in my fort here in my closet. Not really living here, but just coming here for comfort when I need some warmth, some time just feeling really cozy and warm. And I'm also sleeping here. I slept here last night. I slept very well. Thank you. And I am going to sleep here, I think, tonight's the last night, and tomorrow I'll be back in my bed. Because I think the temperature is supposed to maybe get up to 19 or 22, so I might be able to handle it out there in the open area. But in this closed-in space, the heat gets concentrated. My body warmth, and then all the blankets piled up, it creates another type of coziness for myself. And I do have a ceramic heater. Thank you, the Adira, for that. That's blowing in some heat as well. For extra coziness, I brought in this cardboard box, which you can see the top of right now, and I lay down over here. And this box was delivered to my front porch last year when I bought a new cat litter box. So it's a huge square shaped box and in good shape, completely, just fine. And so it managed, it I was able to fit it in here. So it's pretty much kind of like a little extra shell, a liner of sorts for the closet. And then I piled up all the blankets and, things that I had in storage that I thought, well, I won't need it this winter. Well, I did need it, and now it's here. So yeah, use all the blankets. I don't care. I'll wash them, so it's like, use what you have. Just resort to all of the ideas that you might consider, oh no, I'll only do that as a last resort because it's so embarrassing and it's, that's defying my standards of how I should live, or, like, give it up. Like, just take care of yourself. Be in survival mode. Think of yourself as, a DIY crafts person, crafting, a scenario where you get to survive and be healthy and feel warm and comfortable in conditions that are really, really challenging and hard. Let's see. I was going to say that, yeah, so what? I'm in a box in a closet, but I chose this and I'm making this happen, and it's clever, and it might be something that other folks might want to replicate because climate change is real, and we're going to have other moments in the future of extreme temperatures, and people need to let go of feeling like they need to stay in their four-poster bed and not even put like the idea of putting shower curtains, hanging them over your regular curtains is so déclassé. Oh my God. Oh, that's so sad that she had to go do that. It's like, no, it's not sad. It's resourceful. It's smart. It's inexpensive, and it helps keep the drafts, keeps the air from blowing in through the little niches and cracks in the windows, or where the window pane is not quite sealed, in properly in the window frame. So, just do the different and don't be ashamed of that. I mean, Better Homes and Garden is not gonna knock on your front door and say, we're here for the photo shoot, and oh, you're living like that? Well, never mind. No, they're not coming to your house. They don't care. And I don't care. Do what you need to do to survive. Tell your kids to all go into their bedroom closets and make their fort and make it fun, and pile up the blankets and the sheets, and make sure people, that they respect their, boundaries about space and privacy and all that, as well as you typically would anyway. So, it's now 2:17, and I probably should call it a night. But yeah, I'm feeling really good. Like, this is the best my toes have felt in about 15 hours. And I'm really snuggly and warm, and this is the idea that works for me. And I can square this with also being like a public figure and a published poet and a college graduate. But yes, you do what you need to do to get through a scenario that's challenging and unprecedented, basically. I had no idea that I was going to have to figure out how to live through 2 nights of temperatures that are, less than 10 degrees. And now I know how to do it. And I'm, happy for myself. And I want you to be happy for yourself, and in whatever clever way you manage to successfully get through the Polar Vortex 2021 experience wherever you are. Good luck and blessings. And yeah, let's see if you want to share some of your ideas, and we can swap our plans for future scenarios of survival. Good night.